Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking through some MLB player props I like for today on Prizepicks for Thursday, July the 21st. This is our first slate back from the All-Star break. I hope you guys did enjoy the, whatever 3-4 days that we had off with no baseball. We got a small slate for Thursday. Not a ton of games today. There's a couple double headers as well. So I didn't want to go too crazy giving out like a ton of plays today. We have a much bigger slate, much more normal slate on Friday. But I did want to make a video for Thursday just because I do plan on, getting some props down and looking at the board, with the few options that we have as of Wednesday when I'm making this video. I found two props I like, so we're going to talk about two props you can play. You can do a 2-pick power entry with. Normally I give out 3 plays, but, there's just not a lot on the board right now, and I don't want to force plays if I'm not really, that confident in them. So the 2 plays I liked for today, we'll talk about them in a second. Just before we do recap our plays for today, what I'm liking for today, we can recap our plays on Sunday, which was the last time we made a video right before the All-Star break. And on Sunday, we had a really good day. We had a clean sweep Sunday, hit all 3 of our plays. I hope you guys did tail the plays on Sunday. I think the day before that as well, on Saturday, we went 2-1. So we kind of ended the All-Star break on a good note, going 5-1 over our last 2 slates. But we got a small slate for Thursday, 6 games today. Hopefully we can continue the success and have a good second half of the season. Hope you guys have enjoyed these videos though. Hopefully they do help you. If you guys enjoy these videos, hit that like button. As always, I appreciate the support. Appreciate all you guys liking the video. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And also, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, get over there, sign up, use promo code NOAH. Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. And if you bet player props on a sports book or any other site and you want to give Prizepicks a try, make sure to sign up with that code so you do get that deposit bonus when you sign up. And also, if you enjoy these videos, they help you out a lot. You want to get more Prizepicks plays from me, I provide those over on Patreon. You can check out the Patreon. It's linked down below in the description if that is something that does interest you. But talking through Thursday's slate, again, guys, really small slate today, only 6 games, so I didn't want to force a ton of plays. One prop that I like is going to be a pitcher fantasy score prop, and then we have a hitter fantasy score prop that I like. So for pitcher fantasy score, we're going to go to John Gray for one of the first games of the day. It's an early game. It is a 1:10 Eastern game. We have 6 games today. 3 of them are kind of early afternoon games, and then 3 of them are night games. This is coming from the early game, and I like John Gray's over 35.5 fantasy score for today. Really like this matchup for him going up against the Marlins, and I think in general this is a pretty good spot for both these pitchers, for both John Gray and Pablo Lopez. This should be a fairly low-scoring game. It's going to be played in Marlins Park, which is a very pitcher-friendly ballpark. We have very low implied run totals for both teams. 3.4 implied run total for the Marlins, 3.2 implied run total for the Rangers. I was going to look to play the Nerfy in this game, the under first inning runs, but right now Prizepicks does not have this game available for first inning runs. If they do add it, that is something that I do like playing because I think this is definitely a game where we could get 0 runs scored in the first inning. But specifically talking about John Gray and his matchup going up against the Marlins, so far this season, when you look at where the Marlins rank versus right-handed pitching, they've been about average. They're 15th in strikeout rate, so they're literally dead middle, 22.5% K rate. And all their offensive numbers are about middle of the pack. Batting average, they're dead middle of the pack there. In terms of on-base percentage, they're 17th. In terms of slugging, Miami ranks 15th in that category. So all their numbers are about league average. But in general, this is not a Marlins lineup that I'm really that scared of. I mean, they don't have a ton of great hitters. They definitely have hitters that will strike out. Really, the only guys that don't strike out in this Marlins lineup are Joey Wendle and Miguel Rojas. Everyone else in their projected lineup has a K rate above 20% this season. Wendle and Rojas are really the only guys that don't K. There's some guys in here that will definitely like Joey Wendle. I mean, he doesn't strike out. He's going to fight, pitches. He's going to put the ball in play. He's a tough guy to really, get out, at least to strike out. Same with Miguel Rojas. But guys like, Jesus Aguilar, Jorge Soler, they have power, but they also strike out a lot. Again, it's a good pitcher's ballpark. John Gray's been pitching really well this season. I like the matchup for him. I mean, you can look at his numbers on Baseball Savant. They've been really solid. I mean, Gray's basically, all of his numbers on Baseball Savant are, average, if not, above average. His K percentage is pretty solid this year, 27.3% K rate. Done a pretty good job of, not getting hit hard. His expected ERA, expected batting average, those are all above average this season. So Gray's had a really good year so far this year. He's been striking out a lot of guys. It's a really good matchup against a weak Marlins lineup that will definitely strike out. So I like his over 35.5 pitcher fantasy score. I was looking at his strikeout prop. It is set at 7. I have a hard time seeing Gray get, 7 strikeouts or more and not going over his fantasy score for today. I think every start that Gray has made this season where he's gotten over 7 strikeouts, he's gotten over 36 fantasy points or more. So that's the reason that I like his fantasy score and not strikeouts. But if you wanted to take his over 7 Ks, I don't hate that either, just because it is a solid strikeout matchup, and Gray has upped his strikeout stuff a little bit this year with a 27% K rate. But that's what I'm liking as our first play for today. And then our second play, again, it's just going to be a 2-pick for today. Don't want to go too crazy on the small slate. With the second play, we're going to go to the Tigers game, and I'm liking Javier Baez's over in fantasy score. Now, Baez, this is the first game of the doubleheader. So the Tigers do play 2 games today. Their first game is scheduled to play at 3:37 Eastern time in the afternoon, and then the second game, the night game, is expected to be played after 7 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to be focusing on the first game of the doubleheader. So make sure you're taking the 3:37 afternoon game. Right now, his fantasy score for that game is 6.5. His fantasy score for the second game is 5.5. I don't think these lines really move. Rarely do you see fantasy score props move. So you should get it at 6.5. And I like the over here. Now, Javier Baez, he has not had the greatest season. He's definitely not been as good of a hitter as he was when he was with the Cubs. But he's still got pretty solid numbers overall this season, especially against lefties, and that's what I really want to talk about. Now, his numbers this year against right-handed pitching, they've not been great. But versus lefties, he's actually been really good this year. 338 batting average versus lefties this season. He has he's got a 342 on base percentage, 592 slugging, 934 OPS. In terms of his WOBA, he's got a 394 WOBA against lefties. Like, all of his numbers against lefties are drastically better this year than against righties. His hard hit rate against lefties is solid too. Or his hard hit rate's not as high, but so far this season, he has been much better versus left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching. And if you look who's going to be pitching for the Athletics, the early game at least, it's going to be Zach Logie. I don't exactly know how to say his last name. Don't know much about this guy. I think he is kind of one of the Athletics' prospects. He's a younger guy. He's only 26 years old. This is his first year in the majors, and so far in the starts that he's made so far in the majors, he's not really been that great. You look at all of his numbers on Baseball Savant, they are all poor. I mean, they're all blue, and blue is bad. On Baseball Savant, when you're looking at pitchers, you want to see a lot of red, and for Logie, it's just a lot of blue. I mean, his expected ERA, expected batting average, his K percentage, expected slugging, like all these numbers are bottom in the league, or bottom 10% in the league. His expected slugging is bottom 1% in the league. He's given up a 543 expected slugging this year. He's given up a 374 expected WOBA, which is bottom 3% in the league. He has a 604 expected ERA. Like, he's just not really been pitching that well this season in the starts he's made. He doesn't look like a guy that we should be afraid, taking hitters against. Also, another thing I like to see is that he doesn't really have a ton of strikeout stuff. He has just a 17% K rate this year, which, for Javier Baez, the one thing that Baez really struggles with is he strikes out a lot. But so far this season, I mean, he's been striking out a lot, not as much against lefties, though. His K rate versus lefties, I believe, is a little bit lower than it is against righties. He's got a 25.6% K rate against righties this year compared to 17.8% against lefties. So Baez should be able to put the ball in play. His numbers have been much better versus lefties this year. Baez still does have some power. He was hitting the ball pretty well right before the All-Star break ended. He's had a rough season so far this year, but he's been hitting the ball better lately. He still is a guy that can steal bases as well, and that's something that I do like to target. Now, he's only got 3 stolen bases this season, but Baez is still kind of a threat to run if he gets on base. So I think there's a lot of ways he could go over his fantasy score. He could get on base. He could steal a base. I mean, he could hit like an RBI double. I just like the matchup against a pretty weak left-handed pitcher, a left-handed pitcher that has really struggled this season, and his numbers in general just don't look that great. Will the Tigers put up like a ton of runs today? Probably not, but I think they'll at least be able to do some damage against Logie. I think you could see Baez do some damage. Maybe Eric Haas. I mean, he's got some power against lefties. Miguel Cabrera, not the hitter that he used to be, but he can still do some damage at times. So I think it's a pretty good spot for Javier Baez. He's been much better against lefties this year. Logie has really struggled so far in the majors, and I think this is a spot where we can get 7 fantasy points from him. So this is what I'm liking for Thursday's slate, guys. Again, it's a very small slate, 6 games today, couple double headers as well. Didn't want to go too crazy, so just going to give out 2 props for today. But when we return on Friday, we'll definitely have a much bigger slate on Friday. But I still wanted to make a video for this Thursday slate since it is kind of our first day back from the All-Star break. But I hope you guys enjoyed the break, and I'm excited for the second half of the season. Kind of going to try and close out this MLB season on the right note, kind of lead into NFL, lead into NBA. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the MLB content so far this year. Let's try and keep it rolling into the second half of the season. If you guys enjoy these videos, though, hit the like button. As always, I appreciate the likes. hit the subscribe button if you have not yet. And also, if you're new to Prizepicks, get over to Prizepicks. Make sure to sign up for Prizepicks and use promo code NOAH. They will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign with my promo code. And lastly, if you enjoy these videos, if they help you out a lot, you want to get more content from me, want to get more Prizepicks plays from me, I provide those over on Patreon. Check out the Patreon if you are interested. It's linked down below in the description. Good luck today, guys. Appreciate you watching the video. As always, hope you did enjoy, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.